With the help of their interpreter in Székesfehérvár, Beata Vinovich, the two French Canadians received their final instructions from József Botos.
Cher Michel, le voyage étant dangereux, il faut que vous agissiez avec précaution. Vous risquez aussi la confiscation des caméras et des cassettes à la frontière.
To make sure that Laszlo Tőkés truly knew what he was in for, it was decided that two of Michel Clair's contacts from Székesfehérvár would drive to see Tőkés in Timisoara in early February. The two, posing as a romantic couple, were the interpreter Beata Vinovich and Hungarian folk dance instructor Bela Gazdag, who had also been in Montreal when the photo exhibit was shown.
Bela and I went together as we were largely unknown to Romanian authorities. I myself had never even been to Transylvania, so there was no reason we would arouse suspicion or look as if we were up to something. It would just be like a normal tourist trip.
They arrived just a few days after the plan had been sent to Michel Clair. In Timisoara, the couple knocked on the door of Tőkés's apartment, located on the ground floor of the church. Tőkés answered, and realizing quickly what this visit meant, motioned to them that they should go upstairs to the choir loft in the church. The choir loft was chosen because Tőkés thought that that might be the one place which might not be bugged. After all, it would generally be too loud there.
We
went up to the choir loft. Laszlo Tőkés said it would be easiest if we went to a place which he felt perhaps hadn't been bugged yet, also mentioning that even his pulpit had been bugged. But he said that maybe because of the choir, the Securitate decided not to install an eavesdropping device, and he also said that that would be where he would do the interview.
After we told him the plan, he didn't hesitate to accept for a moment, and that kind of surprised me. It looked to me as if he'd wanted this opportunity to speak out. In fact, he said he'd be very glad to do the interview.
Tőkés's assumption that the choir loft was not bugged may be right. When former Securitate Major Radu Tine was asked if he knew that the French Canadians would be coming, this is what he said.
No, I didn't know. I learned it at the moment they appeared on the monitor, that there were 4 of them, who talked about the lighting.
Now the preparations were in full swing. 2 VHS high-quality cameras would be used with 2 30-minute tapes each. The reasons for both cameras was that there would be 2 versions of the interview from different angles, with 2 members of the group taking the cassettes from each camera and crossing back into Hungary at different border crossings. The cameraman for the operation would be Péter Deák, a seasoned documentary filmmaker in Hungary and the same man who brought most of the pictures for the photo exhibition to Canada. He would also be one of the people who would try to bring back 1 set of videotapes from the interview. So Deák first decided to do some trial runs crossing the border.
I was to go by train, because that would be considered unthinkable, that someone would go by train to do an interview with Laszlo Tőkés. I traveled 3 times with the express train all the way to Brasov. The reason for going there and not getting off the train in Timisoara was because then I would be inconspicuous. During that time, I saw how you could hide away things on the train.
The Hungarian-Canadian Cultural Centre in Toronto was where members of the Toronto chapter of the Hungarian Human Rights Foundation held their meetings. To finance this secret mission, on the weekend of February 18th and 19th, 1989, members of the group there collected $1,000 from local Hungarian-Canadian businessmen. Eventually, $3,000 were raised. Operation Timisoara was now a go.